right, I'm welcoming you to our chair yoga session today for the care of Waldenstroms. I'm here with almost 30 people in our live class from all over the world. More and more folks are finding us from international locations, so we're really excited about that. Today's class, we're focusing on tools to calm the nervous system. And as we were rambling in and getting started and taking some verbal intake, some notes here, we had a lot of folks writing in on our chat where they experience stress in their bodies. So if you're watching the recording, maybe think for a moment, where in your body do you experience stress? And a lot of folks talk about the neck and shoulders, digestive issues, gut, jaw, lower back. Some of us, it's basically any part of the body, you can experience stress. And so today's class is going to help just move the whole entire body, but I want to give you some specific tools. And here's the why. Stress has a profound effect and impact on how your body's systems function. And stress can, quote unquote, actually promote the growth and spread of some forms of cancer. Now, I don't want to induce stress by saying that, and this is according to Dr. Lorenzo Cohen. He is a Ph.D. and he's the director of the Integrative Medicine Program at MD Anderson. He says stress makes your body more hospitable to cancer. So that's a pretty good reason, right? That's a pretty good reason to do some stress management. Many of us are doctors. They say, are you eating right? Are you exercising? Are you getting enough sleep? Those are all great. But why are the doctors not asking the question, what are you doing to manage your stress? This is so important. It's like a whole branch of your self-care practice. And some of us can manage stress through movement. Some of us manage stress through sleeping. Some of us manage stress through talk therapy, a good night's sleep. Many ways you can manage stress. Meditation twice a day, maybe a 20-minute period where you are just resting or doing a meditation practice. You're listening to something. So today I want to get into some of these tools. Let's just get started, though, with a little bit of my favorite thing for managing stress. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it's breathing. So not all of us have immediate access to a good, full, deep breath. We're not going to worry about that for now. I'm just going to rub my hands together, create a little bit of warmth in my hands, cup my palms over my eyes. Take a little breather here. Take a breath break with me. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Beginning to just turn our attention inward, away from the screens, away from everything around us, all the activity, and following the breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose or mouth. Maybe rolling the eyes around a little bit. See if you could take 3 more breaths like this. Maybe you make a little sigh on the exhale. And then I'm going to give myself a little self-care massage. Someone wrote in that they get stressed between the eyebrows, so that I might want to smooth out the brow. I might want to massage into the jaw, another place where we can collect tension. And of course, any ways that you know that you can manage your stress are better than anything I can tell you, right? So the tools you already have that you know are good for you are really the best ones. Okay, so we're just doing a little massage wherever feels good, and then we'll get into some head and neck movements. Head and neck movements to release tension from the neck and shoulders. This is a place where many of us as human beings collect it. And I can tell you right now, a lot of the reason behind that is this big old bowling ball of a head I have to carry around. And when I carry around my bowling ball of a head with posture like this, it puts exponentially more pressure on my cervical spine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice the position of my head. And that's going to relieve a lot of that pressure on my neck. And then from here, I'm just going to tilt my head from side to side, breathing into center, breathing out to the other side, moving from side to side at your own pace. Seeing if you could allow the shoulders to soften. I know they want to keep hiking up by the ears. Moving from side to side. Any other movements of the head and neck? Maybe you want to make a circle. And my circle can come with a visualization. There could be a certain color light beaming out of the top of my head and making a circle on the ceiling. I'm like sending up my bat signal. Release tension. And I could move the other direction. And maybe that's a calming, cooling color, like blue or violet. All right, and I'm coming back to center, and I'm going to stretch out. Let's start today with the left hand, and this is a trick from my yoga training. When we're looking to cool the nervous system, we're going to always start with the left side instead of the right. The left side is associated with cooling, with the parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest, and heal. Right? So I've got my left arm out to the left, and I'm just going to take lots of space between the fingers and then drop my knuckles down in a fist. Stretching, lifting, spreading. And exhaling all the way out. All right, that arm is straight if possible. If not, that's okay. One more. Dropping those knuckles down. That's good. You've got it, Phyllis. And then we're dropping the arm down and we're going to reach that right arm out to the right. Lots of space between the fingers. And then curling a fist around the thumb, dropping the knuckles down. We're breathing in, lifting, spreading. Exhaling all the way out. You've got it. And one more. This is for you, Jane. All right. And then knuckles down. All right. And so I will then bring my left arm to the left again. And I'll tilt my right ear over to the right shoulder and circle my palm. Again, these little beam of light maybe shooting out of my palm, creating circles of calm that descend lower and lower with each breath out. Painting the whole area around me with this cool color. And then I could bring the arm behind the back or rest the hand on the hip, whichever feels more comfortable. And I'm going to spin my chin down. So I'm peeking at that left shoulder, or right shoulder, excuse me. Taking a breath in and exhaling it all out. And one more like that. All the way out. And one more. Sigh it out. Okay. And we'll try that on the other side. So right arm out to the right. I'm tilting my left ear towards my left shoulder, however far feels good to you. And we're just circling that palm sending those cool beams of light all around my room. This is a healing zone. This is a rest, digest, and heal zone right now. That arm can move down little by little until I'm ready to tuck my arm behind my back or rest my hand on my hip. And I'm spinning my chin down and softening both shoulders, taking a couple of easy breaths. Really, the trick is the breath here, right? You could do any PT exercise in the world, and that's wonderful, and that's great. Add the breath, and you will be increasing the benefit of whatever stretch you're doing, because your nervous system will be more relaxed, and therefore you'll be more receptive. Okay, so I'm going to take a little sip of water. Maybe you'd like to cool the palate with a little sip of water. And I want to reach into my stress reduction toolkit and see what I've got down here in the bag for you that's a little bit different today. A lot of the stuff we do in all of our classes is stress management, but I want to share something that there was actually a study they did on this. It's called left nostril breathing, or Chandra pranayama, Chandra nadi. So we've done the alternate nostril breathing, where we go in through the right, out through the left, in through the left, out through the right. This time, we're only going to be inhaling and exhaling through the left nostril. If this is not comfortable for you, if your left nostril is blocked up, no worries. You can just sit and visualize the flow in and out of that left nostril. And I'll show you a trick. So we're going to take that right hand and we're going to fold the first two fingers under, or you're going to do whatever is possible for yourself. And we're going to close that right nostril, but not all the way. So I'm just resting my fingertip, the place where I would get a nose pierce if I were ever going to do such a thing. And I'm not pressing all the way. So as I breathe in, oops, sorry, I'm doing it on the wrong side. I'm confusing myself today. So I'm closing my right nostril, but not all the way. And I'm going to take some exploratory breaths in and out of the left nostril, just to see. Does this feel comfortable, breathing in and out of the left nostril? I might close my eyes and see if I could change this so it feels comfortable, maybe a little less pressure on the right nostril. And we're just noticing the flow in and out. And then making the decision for myself. Is there enough airflow? Am I unblocked enough to continue? If not, I'll bring my hand into my lap and just visualize. So we're breathing in and out the left nostril for roughly the same amount of time, in and out. And maybe you want to take a break and just feel what it feels like to breathe in through both nostrils for a moment. The study that I was talking about, the participants did 27 rounds of this Chandra Nadi Pranayama. And it, quote unquote, produced an immediate decrease in all the measured cardiovascular parameters, with a decrease in heart rate, systolic pressure, pulse pressure, rate pressure product, and double product being statistically significant. So basically what they're saying is the parasympathetic nervous system was activated. This is the rest, digest, and heal. So give it a try sometime when you're wondering, what could I do to help myself right now? Maybe it's Chandra, that means moon, by the way, left nostril breathing. So that's one little tool in my toolkit. And next up, I want to share with you my version of moon salutations. You've heard of sun salutations. So we're going to do moon salutations. I'm going to come back a little bit, but we'll warm up a little bit, the whole body. So you can take a wider stance and just take some circles with the torso, moving in one direction Maybe noticing the flow of air coming in and out, both nostrils, if you're feeling unblocked today. And you could circle back the other direction, taking care of me today. Then I'll slowly come back to center and I'll walk my feet in. I'm going to take my hands down at my sides. And we're going to start by inhaling the arms out and up. Exhaling the hands to heart center. Beautiful. Step the feet apart. Open the arms out to the sides like a cactus. Take a breath in. Exhale, squeeze the arms in front. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. One more inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Now I'm going to bring my hands down and I'll lift my left arm up and over, breathing in. Coming back to center, out. Right arm up and over, breathing in. And out. We'll do one more on each side, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Beautiful. I'm going to step my feet back to center. I'm going to take hold of my chair for a moment and just stretch that left leg out in front. Stretching the left leg out in front, I'm going to take my hands to heart center. I'll take a breath in. If I feel unstable here, I'll keep my hands on the chair. And I'm just going to take a tiny, tiny little forward fold with a flat back, so I'm not rounding my back, and I might peek down at my left toes, taking another breath. If it feels good, I could even bring my hands down onto my left leg and deepen my forward fold with a flat back. And then we're coming up, and we're going to switch sides, bringing that right leg out. We start with the hands at heart center. That right leg is straight and the heel is resting on the earth, and I'm just taking a little bow forward till I feel a stretch. I might stay here, I might bring my hands down, cautioning those of us with osteoporosis that we're avoiding rounding the back here. And then we're coming up. Beautiful. Bringing the feet and the knees together, I'm going to inhale my arms up as far as possible. Maybe I can interlace my fingers and leave the index fingers pointed. And I'm going to take a little side bend to, let's go to this left side. And then to the right side. Anchoring down through the sit bones and feet. One more on each side. And then just bringing my feet back to normal spacing and bringing the hands to heart center. Okay, so really the trick there is just slow, flow, repetitive movement. We're not going to do another one of those because we hit so many different things in that. But I really do like just this little forward fold with the leg extended. That feels like something we can add to our toolkit just in and of itself. One little thing you can do, and the addition of a downward gaze or drishti, the focus, I'm bringing my energy down, right? Not in a bad way, but just in a calming way, that I'm connecting with earth energy when I bring my gaze down. So that's another tool for your toolkit. All right, and then let's go ahead and get into a little bit more with the spine. So I'm going to open my arms out to the sides, push my heart and my chest forward, squeeze my shoulder blades together so I'm arching my back, and then I'll interlace my fingers and pull the arms away. Let's take 3 more of those. You've got it. Inhale, open. Exhale, interlace, pull the arms. And 2 more, breathing in. Exhale, interlace. And last one. Exhale, interlace. Pushing the palms away, juicing up the fingers, like you're getting ready to sit down and play the piano. And then we can lift the arms up as far as feels good to you and release the arms down and just roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Grabbing onto my seat, I'm going to stretch my right leg out and circle the toes. Right? So some of us are caring for quite a lot of peripheral neuropathy these days. This could be something we add to our everyday toolkit. I'm going to stop saying the word toolkit and really sit down, stretch that other leg out. If you notice, I did the right side first because it's just so ingrained in me. So ingrained to have that right side dominant. And now I'll release the foot down, and you'll make a determination for yourself whether standing is in the cards for you today. And I'm going to stand mindfully in no hurry. Your option is to remain seated if you need to care for your energy or any issues you have going on in the body. I like it, Marnie. So let's do a little bit of leg strengthening before we get to the releasing tension from the hip flexors part. So I'm going to sink down into my imaginary chair here. So I've bent my knees a little bit. I'm going to bring my hips back. And again, I'm really cautioning you not to round the back. So I'm really trying to keep my shoulders pulled back, and my chin could be level with the earth. Again, that head posture is really important here, right? So I might lift my head up a little bit more and tuck my chin, and then I might even lift one or both arms straight out in front. And I can really feel the work here in my glute muscles, maybe even in my lower back. So I'm going to pull my belly towards my spine and give a little support there. Palms can face each other. We're taking one more breath. And then we're going to inhale and lift the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to sink down and swing the arms back. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, sink down, arms back. You can do this at your own pace. If you're caring for knee issues, maybe you stop and take a break, or do less of a bend or flex the knee. Let's take one more after this one. You guys are looking really good today. Breathing in, breathing out. And then I'm coming up to stand, and I'm just going to walk it out. Right? I could march it out if I'm seated. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Do you hear my voice in your head when you go for a walk? Opposite arm, opposite leg. I hope so, because I think of you guys all the time as I'm doing my regular things around the house. How would this feel for somebody who has numbness, tingling, problems in their hands? How would they open this jar? I think to myself as I open my pickles. And you guys have taught me so much about what it's like to live with Waldenstroms, and I'm ever grateful for learning. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to do a high lunge today. So I'm going to take my right foot forward and bring my left foot back a little bit at first. All 10 toes are going to be facing the same direction, unlike our Warrior One pose. And like our Warrior One pose, we're going to keep the torso upright. You'll notice that my back heel is lifted. I might want to do some pumps here. So I'm lifting my back heel and placing the heel down. And, you know, if this is causing you pain or discomfort, don't do it. And then I'm going to stay perhaps with my heel lifted, and I'm squeezing that left glute muscle. And what I'm doing here is I'm stretching the front of my left hip. There's a big muscle there called the psoas muscle. And it can get very tight especially in response to stress. So let's go ahead and lift that left arm up and over a few times. So you can really accentuate the length of that psoas muscle. You could even imagine the psoas muscle shooting out of your fingertips. That's good. And we might take one more. You got it. Just do what feels good to you today. And then we'll go ahead and shorten the stance. And we're going to take that forward fold we usually do here. So I've still got the right foot forward. Notice I forgot and did the right side first again. Can't help myself. And then I'm just going to fold forward here with a flat back. And I'm noticing my head positioning again. Am I putting more pressure on my neck than I need to by jutting my chin forward? So I'm tucking my chin. My gaze is at the earth. And I'm breathing in and sighing it out. Breathing in, sighing it out. I could even go a little deeper if I have more room to stretch. And then I'll come back up whenever I'm ready. Stepping the left foot forward and bringing the right foot back again, all 10 toes pointing in the same direction towards my chair here, and my back heel is lifted. So I'm bending into my left knee, and I'm going to be lifting and placing my right heel down. So I get a good toe stretch, and I'm strengthening my calf, stretching my calf muscle. And then I might stay wherever it feels best for me in terms of my foot. My torso is upright. My right glute is squeezing. And I can visualize that psoas muscle in my right hip. And I might even reach my right arm up and over a few times, just really stretching that psoas. And it makes sense that the psoas would contract during a stress response, right? Fight or flight. We want to be able to use that muscle. But when we sit a lot or when we're chronically stressed, this muscle can become really tight. So important to stretch it. And this is one way you can stretch it. All right, let's come to our second pose. We've shortened the stance. Both legs are straight. We're taking a forward fold with a flat back. Both of my legs are engaged. That means I'm trying to lift up my kneecaps. You got it. I'm tucking my chin. I'm just looking for some kind of stretch sensation in my left leg. And if I have lower back issues, I'm definitely going to try to tip my pelvis back or pull my belly towards my spine. If there's a little farther you want to go, you could take some easy breaths here. All right, and then I'm coming up nice and slow. And I'm going to stand here for a moment with my feet about hip distance apart. And I'm going to lift both arms up. If you feel like you need the chair, it's there if you need it. And I'm going to see what it would feel like to try and interlace my fingers and keep the index fingers pointed. Right? If this feels like too much on my shoulders, I'll loosen it up a little bit. And then I'm imagining that with my left hip, I'm going to close a drawer. Right? So I'm closing a drawer with my left hip and side bending. Closing a drawer with my right hip and side bending. Careful of sort of crumbling forward on this one. We're just looking for some lateral flexion of the spine, juicing up the spine in this pose called crescent moon. So you notice the moon comes up a lot with calming the nervous system. So let's take the arms now behind the back. Right? Grab whatever's available. Maybe it's a wrist. Maybe you can interlace the fingers. And I'm just going to try to lift the arms up away from the back of the body a little bit. Okay? Do what feels good to you, though. And then we'll do a little shoulder stretch. So I'm going to bring my right arm. Let's bring the left arm. There, I remembered. Good job, Anne. And I'm going to scoop underneath, draw the arm across the body. So I'm giving myself a shoulder stretch. This is for you, Catherine. Breathing into it. That's good. My body is pointed forward, right? So I tend to want to go with my arm. I'm going to keep my body pointed forward. And then we're switching it up. Right arm, scoop underneath. Draw the arm across the body. Find those easy breaths. And then release. And I'm just going to swing my arms and maybe do some goofy movement here. Something that's incredibly stress relieving for me is dancing. And, you know, allowing my body to move however it wants to move, right? It doesn't matter what I look like, especially when I'm doing this in the living room by myself. Maybe you want to circle the hips a little bit. Maybe there's a forward fold with a flat back. Any movements the body's asking for. And then we'll come to sit and do a couple of stretches here. Sitting down, you could take a slow elevator ride down to that seated posture and strengthen the legs on the way if you wanted. So I'm coming to sit. I'm not in any particular hurry. Got it. All right. I'm going to cross that left ankle over the right knee. Grabbing onto the left foot, giving myself a little massage or whatever part of the leg is available. It might not be the foot. Getting in there and not only giving, but receiving this self-touch. And then I'll take a moment to find my hip stretch here. You might already be feeling enough sensation, or you could reach the heart forward again with a flat back, softening my shoulders. My gaze is at the earth. I might even be visualizing the air flowing in and out of that left nostril, if you really want to get complicated there. All right, come on up. When you're ready, you can stay there as long as you like, of course. I'm going to cross my left knee all the way over my right, so I still have my left knee on top. And then I'm going to take a twist using my core muscles to the left. And I'm placing my hands wherever feels best for me to support that twist. And I'm going to caution us with our head positioning again. So let's take the chin level with the earth and tuck that chin a little bit. So we have that less pressure being exerted on the neck. Big breath, get a little deeper. And then unwind back to center. And we can do those same two on the other side. I've got my right ankle over my left knee or thereabouts, whatever feels good. I might take a moment to massage my right foot. And if for whatever reason you're caring for hip or knee issues and this just doesn't work for you, I understand. Please don't push through pain. I'm going to go into my hip stretch by leaning forward a little bit. I don't have to go very far. I feel a lot of sensation here. It's beautiful, Phyllis. I think you're natural, and pretty soon you'll want to convert over to chair yoga instead of aerobics. Come on up, sit up nice and slow, and we'll cross the knee over, engaging the core muscles to twist to the right. Taking the hands in support of the twist. Finding a few easy breaths with that chin level with the earth. And then slow unwind back to center. And I want to share with you one more little tool from my toolkit. So maybe you have some lavender. I happen to have, oh, Pamela, we need to mute you. Let's see, I happen to have lavender spray and lavender in a bag. So I might take a little sniff of that and maybe get my hands infused with that nice lavender smell. And I want to share with you something that we have done before that you yourselves have told me is useful in a stressful moment. You could be in the infusion chair, literally. You could be waiting for your blood results. You could just be having a moment where you're feeling anxiety and you need something to do. And this is something to do. So it involves hands, it involves breath, and it involves a modern mantra. I am at peace. You can replace those words with anything that works for you. And I know some of you have your own modern mantras. And we're going to be exploring that a little bit more on Wednesday with our amazing speaker, Kimberly. She's going to be talking about modern mantras, and we're going to be writing and meditating in that class. So with my I am at peace fingers, I call this, I'm just going to be touching each finger to the thumb individually, and then starting over at the pointer finger, middle, ring, pinky. I am at peace. So you can rest the hands on the lap while you do this. So bring the hands down in the lap. You could close the eyes, so there's not too much effort here holding the arms up. You can inwardly repeat the words, I am at peace. You can close the eyes, and we're going to try this meditation for a total of 1 minute. And if there's some other way you would like to do this, feel free to do it. And you're breathing, repeating inwardly, I am at peace. With the eyes softly closed and feet on the earth. And the breath flowing easily in and out. And now rest the hands in the lap and allow the words to continue to reverberate and echo in your mind and your body and your spirit. I am at peace. And then if you would like, you can bring the hands to heart center and join me in closing our class today with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis. The word Shanti in Sanskrit means peace. Breathing in, just listening or joining. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. I hope that you can go forth and bring this calm with you and know that stress management is as important as exercise, is as important as a good diet, is as important as eating well. So please choose well from the stress management toolkit, and you can always reach out to me and ask any questions, follow up with me. Again, we're going to be having, speaking of managing stress, we're going to be having a wonderful speaker this Wednesday come and share some tools with us to cultivate well-being. So I hope to see you there. And until we meet again, keep breathing, my friends.